Hey guys, how's it going? Something that I just want to quickly spend like a minute or two on really quick, for those that don't watch the stream, so don't get like the full conversation when it comes to certain things is I want to talk a little bit about moral intuition. Um, Support of moral intuition. Well-meaning people have immediate sense of right and wrong. Human beings had moral ideas before philosophers existed. Our reasoning upon moral matters is used to confirm perceptions. Reasoning can go wrong, unlike intuition. Criticism and moral intuition. Hunches are difficult to hold on to. No proof we have an innate ability to be moral, and intuition immune to objective criticism. Some humans do not possess moral intuitions. Okay. So, what I want to talk about with this is this this idea and how it relates to the schizoid. Now, for many years, I thought, okay, well, am I some psychopath? Am I some sociopath? Because like I can't emotionally or socially connect to other people. I just want to spend all my time reading books and playing video games and watching media and analyzing things and so on and so forth. That was generally the direction I would take most of my days in. Right. So, this is a little bright, huh? Jesus Christ. See if I can fix that. It's like hard to look at me like this. Maybe if I do this, hold on. There we go. That's a little better. So, so what I want to talk about when it comes to that is, I think I figured out kind of a way for you to differentiate yourself between someone that's like some psychotic or psychopath slash sociopath, that is capable of malevolent things or whatever. And for some of us, it gives us a lot of anxiety, the possibility or thought that via our alienation or disconnect from other beings, that we're capable of some kind of monstrous acts or something like that, because of our lack of emotional amplitude. And I'm here to tell you something really quickly to maybe make you feel a little bit better about that. Um, because somebody that's dealing with certain levels of psychopathy probably won't care that they won't care that they're incapable of feeling a certain emotional range or capability. They won't care that they don't have uh, ethics or principles or a sense of morality. They won't give a shit. Um, so I can't really speak for them because I'm not one of them. They might not deal with much of a dilemma if that's the case. But if you're struggling with this idea of feeling like some kind of like inhuman monster for not having the same emotional connections as others, you might just be a schizoid. And if that's the case, there's one fundamental difference you want to think about that can maybe make you feel better. And that difference is that you may still possess some sense of moral intuition. And I've discovered via my conversations with a lot of schizoids and other people like myself, that most of us possess this in significant amounts, and all of us seem to be really ethical, fairly ethical, even on a logical basis, because we want to be left alone. We don't want to be intruded upon. And so we understand the idea of not doing so to others. And it sort of fuels a certain kind of cognitive empathy. Perhaps not an emotional one, but a cognitive empathy of sorts. And I think that our moral intuitions are also associated to that same level of cognitive empathy, even if we don't emotionally feel it necessarily. But I think we possess those same innate intuitions because I do argue for them in some respects. It might be genetic. It might be something to do with evolutionary psychology. It might have some spiritual component. Some people believe, like it doesn't matter. The reasons for it, be it secular or otherwise, scientific or otherwise, they don't make a difference to me. And when talking about it like this, moral intuitions are something that is a component, I believe, that makes up most humans. And and I'm not saying that like those moral intuitions extend to like so many aspects of say arbitrary rules and laws and religious mandate and all sorts of things. Because growing up, there was plenty of things that I just didn't connect to. I didn't understand religious rules or concepts. I didn't understand societal social roles and ideas and things like that. Like I didn't understand why they existed. A lot of them, I understood within over time within the context of human behavior and understanding it, but I didn't understand why people had the behavior that they did so consistently enough to where they needed these rules to exist. Otherwise, things would run amiss, because I didn't connect to those social behaviors and motivators and things like that. But beyond that, beyond all those things, right? Even disconnected from everything like that, those seemingly arbitrary rules about behavior, um, the motivators that matter and don't matter, and so on and so forth. There is still this underlining ethical intuition, sort of, that I possess, and that a lot of people like myself possess, that are schizoid or maybe cluster A, maybe autistic or something in some respect. And that's that I don't like seeing certain acts. I do not like seeing the invasion of other people's privacy. I do not like seeing things like, or condoning or speaking in positively in any way, shape, or form about things like rape, murder. I mean, make jokes on crash jokes and such and everything, but on a deeper level, if you're talking seriously to me, I don't find anything about rape, murder, um, uh, other things, other illegal acts that are just as egregious. I don't find anything amusing about them. I don't find anything good about them. I have a sense of revulsion, disgust when talking about those things, or when seeing an imagery or a news article or something. They either make me feel uneasy, uncomfortable, or angry. Because angry is something that I still, it is a bit anomalous as a schizoid, but I still connect to is anger. And but point is, negative emotions arise from inside me, right? When I see these things. Uh, and even if I wasn't so prone to anger when it came to that stuff, I would still feel disgust or revulsion. Some kind of disgust mechanism still kicks in, and so even the most numb schizoid oftentimes will say, "No, those things are wrong. Those things are terrible." And then if you ask them why, do you feel bad when you see them? And it's like that's not necessarily the case. It's something intuitive, something you feel inside you that just makes you go, "No, fuck that. That's fucked. No." Even if it's a cognitive empathy, like you're thinking, I wouldn't want that done to me. And so why would I want to do that to others? That's sick. That's gross. It's terrible. It's awful. And if you feel that way, if you still have this somewhat unemotional sort of disgust or uneasiness when thinking about the possibility of being in a situation in which you have to partake in something unethical, or seeing something unethical, and or hearing about it, or say you went on the internet and you saw like some raw video of some terrible event or tragedy, right? And for some reason you watched it and you felt really uneasy and uncomfortable and kind of sick, but you didn't fully comprehend why or what the emotional state you were going through. It was more of a subconscious thing, and your body had a negative reaction to seeing such things, or it caused you a certain level of anxiety, such, and the almost felt like your curiosity got the best of you because you looked at something that you shouldn't have. Um, that's important. That what you're feeling, that is what I believe would be considered, and anybody can argue with me, but some kind of moral intuition, some kind of ethical innate aspect of being human. And people that don't possess it, tend to be psychopaths, tend to be people that don't believe in ethical systems, tend to be psychopathic narcissists or psychopathic antisocials and things like that. And that's its own story, and that's its own tragedy in and of itself. It's strange to feel some kind of empathy for individuals that don't possess even that, because they wouldn't feel any empathy for you, even on a cognitive level. So my point is, if you can still build an ethical system and you still have this certain kind of level of responsibility you feel for your existence, and you still feel a certain level of disgust or revulsion when it comes to things like that, essentially break what is commonly known as NAP, the Non-Aggression Pact, um, you're still very much human, and you're still very much a person. And I think that's really important to denote, or to note. I think it's really important to hone in on that and focus on that and remember that. I think that's valuable. And don't think that it's just worthless because you don't have this emotional empathy like others or the same level. It's not. It's fundamental to your existence as a human being or as a sentient creature in general as a whole. So don't write it off. Don't deny that aspect of yourself. Understand that though you may have ethical slash moral intuitions of some kind, and though you may not possess the emotional capacity or need or whatever you want to call it to understand why you have those things, remember this much. The fact that you have them is partially what makes you just as human as everyone else, and not some unfeeling monster. That's all I have to say. I hope this helps somebody out there.